Hi, and welcome to IDT Assessment 1, BSBWHS304, Participate Effectively in WHS Communication and Consultative Practices. So this is what your task looks like. As you can see, the date given is there. In future viewings of this task, this might change. This should be 2018, obviously. We have a link here to the training package, which you can click on to see the things I'm assessing you on. As we go down, we look at the resources that you need. You'll have access to organizational policies and procedures, the relevant acts and legislations and standards and so on, relevant data files and appropriate office equipment and resources. And here is some of that information here for you. So there's a whole lot of hyperlinks that you can click on here, okay? And there's links to different bits of legislation as well, okay? Going down, this assignment is 4 parts. Part A, you have to give me some definitions on WHS terms. Part B, we're looking at doing a safety audit and risk assessment of your work site here in class. Part C, we're going to be doing an ergonomic screensaver. And Part D is a group task where we do a WHS meeting, okay? And you can see here the employability and foundation skills that we're going to be looking at in the assessment task. So, step 1 is the specific task details, okay? So you have been contracted to work as an IT consultant for a large computer distribution company. Your task is to encourage employees to work in a more efficient manner and ensure that IT-related WHS standards meet compliance requirements. Your role includes introducing novice computer users to the industry and explaining key WHS areas. You are required to represent IT as a member of the company's WHS committee. This responsibility involves you ensuring that all computer areas comply with WHS standards and that all employees are continually reminded of WHS standards. After considering your 2 positions, you have decided to carry out workshops to familiarize employees with their PCs and to assess each IT area efficiently. Consequently, you will need to create an ergonomics checklist. You have also determined the best approach to continually educate employees about workplace safety is to use the company's computers as an advertising tool and place signs around the work site. So the first thing you need to do is think about what you need to know. And so we have here different terms that you need to do and different definitions. So what I want you guys to do here, write the definition in the box. Pretty simple, okay? Write it as detailed as you can. Write it in simple terms you'd understand, and always, always, always use your words. Never use the word you're defining or the term you're defining in the definition. Moving down, part B. Okay, you need to complete this risk assessment document, okay? You must name the business and location being assessed. You must name the assessor. The assessor is you. You need to identify if the assessed environment complies with WHS standards and contains adequate ergonomic equipment. Use images to support your audit. You need to contain a ticker box section that can easily identify areas that meet WHS and ergonomic requirements and those that do not. Outline recommendations to improve the work environment so it complies with WHS and ergonomic requirements, and provide a date by which the recommendations to be completed. So you go through here. The site, you're going to name the site, okay? So for us, it's the classroom we're currently sitting in. The location, same sort of thing. The date that you complete this activity. So think about what you're doing in the site, and then the time that you completed that as well. So date and time, all right? And then we go through and we look at any hazards you have, okay? So these are examples of types of hazards you could have, okay? If you need to add more, for instance, if there is more than one physical hazard, insert a new row, easy done, okay? So an example could be a wet floor, all right? The current control is that you place a sign, okay? That hierarchy control level is level 3. The current risk ranking is 1 to 2. Recommended additional controls might be mop up the spill, and then the hierarchy control is level 1. Residual risk ranking is now a 4, and then who did you report it to? So to look at the hierarchy control levels, you can scroll down. The hierarchy control levels are down here, okay, at the bottom here where it says measures for controlling risk. And if we go back up, the risk ranking can be determined by using this table here, okay? So equipment. Okay, list any equipment that you need to use, including PPE, and then answer the questions below. So is all equipment maintained in accordance to WHS regulations? Yes, no. Are licensed personnel used for all construction, maintenance, and repair work? Yes, no, or not applicable if we don't have anything to construct, maintain, or repair. What emergency equipment is available and where is it located? Other requirements, if necessary. Supervision of activities, maintenance, etc. Okay, who's responsible for supervision? First aid. Are first aid kits available? Is there a trained first aid officer? And is a first aid room available? Okay, and then what to do in emergencies, it's already written for you, don't have to do anything there. And then you tell me who completed the risk assessment, sign and date. Obviously, since it's on computer, you're not going to actually sign with a pen, but you can change your font to a font that looks like handwriting and put your name in there. That's close enough, okay? Supervisor will be me, and again, put my signature in a handwriting font. I'm happy with that, and then pick a date. Then how often should this procedure be reviewed? Should it be reviewed monthly, yearly, weekly, right? You need to put something that's relevant there. Who needs to review it? Okay, so i.e. their job title, and then what day should that be reviewed? So if you're reviewing yearly, then this when due would be a year from the date that you do it, obviously, okay? And so it says here, you can list the hazards up the top and use the risk matrix to do it, okay? And as I said there's the measures for controlling risk, the hierarchy of control, okay? In part C, you need to make a screensaver or a slideshow, okay? We're gonna do a slideshow, all right? That will show up to 5 slides of ergonomic principles you need to know when working in the industry. So ergonomics is the study of how you work in your environment, how you interact with your work environment. So for this, we're looking at basically how you sit when you use a computer, chair heights and angles of legs and arms and table heights and angles of monitors and so on, okay? So give me up to 5 slides that talk about those sorts of things, okay? Pictures are really good and so on. When I share this task to you, I will also share a blank Google Slides template in another assessment task on Classroom. What you need to do is open that blank template and then put a link to it there so that I can see it when I'm looking at one task. I don't have to jump between multiple tasks, okay? Then in part D, all right, you're going to conduct a WHS meeting. So in small groups, you're going to refer to the meeting policy and procedure document provided, conduct a WHS meeting relating to your school environment, use the agenda provided to structure your meeting. This meeting is to be filmed using the Google Drive camera app on one member's phone. I don't care what app you use. I'm probably going to assume you guys can use Photo Booth, but it doesn't really matter as long as you can film something, okay? And then upload the assignment to Google Drive, okay? The filmed meeting is to contain the specific roles of members. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to introduce each person and tell me what their roles and responsibilities are in terms of safety for the meeting, okay? Each group member must raise one WHS concern at the school. Each issue that is raised must be discussed with multiple action plans, ideas for addressing each issue being mentioned, and so on. So at the conclusion of the meeting, you will email the agenda and the minutes to your team as well as your supervisor. So if you look at the agenda here, guys, we can see the date, location, start, and finish of our meeting. Identify members present. So these are the members that should be present in your meeting. Now, based on the size of your group, you may have all of these or you may not. So some people might be absent and you might need to give apologies for them, okay? So if the administrative person isn't there, then you could write apologies like that, and so he's not there anymore, okay? WHS concerns, all right? You need to give me one of each of these, okay? So everyone's going to give me a barrier to communication that they've noticed. Then you will talk about a PowerPoint that is overloaded, okay? And then you will talk to me about trip hazards in the setup of rooms, okay? So everyone will bring up a barrier. One person will bring up one of these, but everyone is expected to discuss everything that is discussed, okay? You could then, during your meeting, write the minutes directly onto this agenda, okay? So you might here write a comment and write what people have said. You might choose to write in a different color font, say something like that, okay? It's up to you how you want to do it. I'll leave that choice to you. Then at the bottom, WHS action plan. How will you address each of the things happening above here, okay? So you would list the barriers that you have. So one of the barriers might be, lack of literacy. And then you would talk about, well, helps if I have literacy. And then you would talk about what you would do. So what to do, but also who is responsible, okay? So you say, what are you going to do to solve this barrier and who is responsible to take charge of that, okay? And that's pretty much that part of the agenda there, okay? As we go down, we can see here we have a checklist for myself, okay, to mark you guys. I won't mark on this sheet because obviously you all have a copy of that. I'll mark in a spreadsheet, which I'll share with you at a later date. But then we go down the bottom as well. You'll need to give me a copy of this assessor feedback, okay? So you will submit me your feedback, what you think about the task, using a document that looks similar to this, and then I will share back with you the feedback when I'm finished with it.